In this video, we're going to create a base plate detail manually, and also we're going to create a base plate using system component. This is the example of the base plate detail that we're going to do. So at this example, we're going to use the column size H500 with a 30 mm thickness of base plate, and then we're going to add also stiffeners, plate 10 stiffeners in the web and in the flange. We're going to use also the shear key, which is H200. Now we're going to follow this detail, and let's begin. From this model, I'm going to select one column and then create the view. So I'm going to select default views of part. So it will give me 4 different views, and then I can choose one to start adding my base plate or my plate. Okay, in Tekla structure we have two types of plate, the beam plate and the contour plate. Beam plate is using the beam, just adding the thickness and the width of the plate, and then the contour plate is you're going to pick the polygon shape of the plate. Now in this example, we're going to use the beam plate. Select the beam, and then we can type here base plate. So the profile, as we shown earlier in our drawing, it's PL 30 by 500 width. And the material, we'll just use this material. And the class, let's say I'm going to use the class 2, which is red. And then the on-plane rotation and depth, let's leave it for a while. Now, so from here, I have a 100 distance from the flange of the column. So from here, I will select, press Control key, and then click this one, and then go for 100, and then 600, okay, 582, Control key, and then 100. Okay, so let me just press Control 2 so that it will be a transparent. So now, as you can see, this is the position of my beam plate. So all I have to do is to use my contextual toolbar and then select the position. So this position, I can easily rotate this one, let's say 0, and then the handle is at the bottom, but I need to make sure that my base plate is going up. So I need to change again this one to, instead of middle, I can change this one to front and then modify. Now let's rotate this one, and then as you can see, the position of the base plate is on the right. So I can change this one to middle and then modify. There you go. So now my base plate is in the correct position. You can do this one in front view or in 3D. So you can do this one in different view as you like. So now let's go back to my 2D, and then this time I'm going to use my detailing tool because I need to fit my column to the thickness of the base plate. So I will go to the edit and then select the fit part end, select the column, and then pick this position, and there you go. So the fit part end will cut the smaller part of the element. Okay, so now I fitted already the column to the base plate. So this time I can add my stiffener. Since I'm already in this view, I can add now my stiffener. So in stiffener, I can use the other type of the plate, which is the contour plate. Shift, and then here the thick. Let's say I'm going to rename this one as stiffener, and then plate 10, that's fine, and then I can choose 2, and then middle is okay. Then all I have to do is to click 1. Okay, select the this snapping tools, 2, and then the height is 250. I can just simply key in 250, and then here another 100, and then middle button of your mouse. Then you have now the stiffener. So since I have a 25 cut here and 25 cut at this top and bottom, so all I have to do is to change this chamfer. So for the chamfer, I can use the line, and then the distance, let's say distance x is if that one is 10 and I have 25 remaining, so 75, and then this one is 225. Let's see if that one is correct, x and y. Oh, it's the other way around, so just 225, and then this one is 25. Sorry, 75. Okay, that's it. So now I have this stiffener, and I use the chamfer. You can also use a polygon according to the shape. So I can also change the chamfer here, since to have the allocation for the welding. So I can add a chamfer here. Let's say 10 and 10, and then modify. And there you go. So now we have to mirror that one on the other side. So I cannot mirror this one here on this elevation unless I change my UCS. So what I'm going to do is I can go to my top view, and then select, right click, copy, mirror. So click the middle of this plate, copy, and then you have now the mirror. Now how about the one on the web? So all I have to do is copy, rotate, and then just simply click this position, and then 90, copy. So copy, rotate. So all I have to do now is to move. Select, move, pick this position, and then select the mid point. All right, and then I can now copy, mirror, all right. So I have now this base plate with stiffener with a fitting. So next, let's add the welding. So for the welding, this one is a fillet weld, near side and far side. So all I have to do is to select this welding and then create weld between parts. So shift and click. So as you can see here, I'm not going to use the all around, but I'm going to use the workshop continuous. The placement is above line and below line, and then 6 millimeter. Let's say this one is 0 or blank, and then click the column and the stiffener. So there you go. So that's the welding. So now if I select the column, inquire assembly, so as you can see, the red color is the main part, the yellow color is the secondary part. And I'm going to apply again also to column, and then stiffener, column, stiffener, column, stiffener. By the way, you can adjust in case that the welding on the side of the column is different to the base plate side, then you can change also the position of the welding. So this welding, as you can see, there is a position here. Where is that position? The placement, main part or secondary part. think there's another position here, if I'm not mistaken. Here, position X, Y, Z. So you can identify the position then. Alright, so now let's add the welding for the column, and welding the between the column and the base plate. So select again, and then this time I'm going to use the all around and none, and then change this one to 7. Then select the column and then the base plate, and then you're going to have the all around welding there. So now if I select the column and then inquire assembly, everything is already connected to the column. Alright, next let's go back again to the front view, and then we're going to add the shear key. So for the shear key, I can use my beam, and then this one I can type a shear key, and I can use now the edge 200 by 200, apply, and OK, and middle. So select from the center, then let's say 250, and there you go. So I have now the shear key. So you can rotate this one if you like. So you can change this one to front or top, and then we can also add now the welding. Inquire. Okay, so there you go. Now let's add the holes. Alright, we're going to add a 35 dia hole. So let's go to the top view. For the holes, let's go to the bolt, select the bolt, and then bolt distance Y, let's say 80, and then select the size 30 with the tolerance of 5, so 35 dia hole. So site, okay, and then okay, let's say up. Okay, 1, 2, middle bottom of mouse, 1, 2. Alright, so in this case we can change now the position of this to front, modify. Alright, so when I pick from this point to this point, so it means that's considered my X position or my X direction. So in this case, for my X position, I can now change the DX. Let's say this one is 250, modify, so it will move 50, and then for the Y distance, I'm going to put 400, enter. So that one is the pitch, and then the distance from the X direction will be a distance list here in the bolt distance X. It will be 150 space 300 space 150, enter. So there you go. So now I think we're going to because the size of this column is not exactly 500, so we will have an adjustment here on the center distance. So let's measure it from here to here is 482. So if this one is 300, we need to less 18 to 300, so 300 less 18 is 282. So it means that we need to change this one to 282. Enter. And then redraw. So let's now check the bolt spacing. Alright. So here there's some a little bit of difference, 0.05. So 50, 282, 150, and 50. So what we're going to do here, maybe here. So we can now select and then move. .05. Let's see. Redraw, measure, bolt spacing. Okay, 50, 450. So we have now the exact value. All right. So we don't need the bolt, but we need the hole only in this base plate. So all we have to do is to remove the bolt and then modify. So now we have the hole. So there you go. So we have now the base plate for our column. Right? So we can remove this one. Oops. Okay. Now, if we want to add that one to the other column, all we have to do is to select assembly, and then select assembly, right click, copy all content to another object, and all we have to do is to select the column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we have the base plate for these 9 columns, because since this one are similar. Okay, now let's move on to the creation of the base plate using our component. Okay, so here I can now go to the application and component, and here I type the base plate. So we have the different base plate available here. So we have the base plate 1004, 1042, and so on. But this time I need to choose the base plate that have the stiffener. So I think I'm going to use this US base plate. Okay. So I'm going to apply the default setting. Select the column and pick the position, and there you go. So this is the default setting. So all you have to do is to modify this one accordingly. So now from the I'm going to start with the part. So here I'm going to say 30, modify. I can change also the class number. Let's say the class number here is 3. Alright, or maybe I can choose this class number 3 here, so everything will be green. Then let's go to the bolt. So here I'm going to choose 30, then 5, and then remove the bolt because I need only the hole. So here I need to choose 2 into 400, and then this one is 50, 50, modify. Okay, so in this case I need to put 50, 50, and then this one 4. So I'm going to follow again the same setting earlier, 150 space 282 space 150, and then modify. And you have now the base plate. Of course, much easier because we have already the component. And then parts. Here I'm going to add the number 3, the number 6, 3, 6, 7, and 8. So in this case, I'm going to choose 3, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to add 10. And then this one is 100. And this one is 250. And then modify. Okay, stiffeners. So here I need to type also 3, 6, 7, 8, and then modify. All right. So for the chamfer, I can go back to my picture, and then here I will type here 75, 225, 10, 10, and then modify. There you go. For the welding, let's see. Here you can choose also here for the welding. Let's say for 1 and 2, 3. So I don't need this one. Then I need only, I need only 2. This one, and then all around 7. This one would be 6, and then 6, and then modify. There you go. And then I'm going to add the shear key. So where's the shear key part? Here, the shear key profile. So I'll choose again the H200, apply, and OK, and then modify. So I have now the shear key. So for the shear key's length, I can type here 250, modify, apply, and OK. Okay, that's it. So that's the base plate using our system component. Okay, if I want to apply that one to all the remaining column, all I have to do is just simply select this, select all the column, and then pick one position, and then I have all this base plate in the column. Now the difference in this case is if I have a changes in the column size, let's say I change this size to other profile, let's say H400, apply, and OK. And then also this one, need to change this one both to H400. Okay, and then modify. So as you can see, this one updates automatically, but the other one still remains on the original position because there's no intelligence on this. So we can create the intelligence on this one when we create the custom component, which is another topic. Okay, so this one is how to deal with base plate in Tekla structure. Thank you.